Zohran has completely lost his mind as the entire country has watched this tragedy that is the DC shooting unfold in real time. Zohran's brain decided to break. So we need to talk about that, as well as President Trump's newest post on Truth Social that's meant to detonate President Biden's executive orders and everything else that was signed with an autopen, which many believe includes pardons. And I want us to talk about it. So welcome back to the Adam C. Moreno Show. Please like, subscribe, turn on the bell, and let's jump right in. Starting with this heartbreaking announcement posted by Rapid Response 47, honoring Specialist Sarah Beckstorm, the young National Guard member whose life ended far too soon by the gunman in Washington, D.C. Speaker Mike Johnson also provides a heartfelt statement. Here he says, "We are deeply saddened by the senseless, needless, preventable loss of Specialist Sarah Beckstorm. Please join us in praying for her family, her fellow guardsmen, and all who loved her. Her service, her courage, and her sacrifice will not be forgotten." CBS also provides further details. Take a look at this.
Her service in the West Virginia National Guard in June of 2023, and she had been deployed in Washington, D.C., in the nation's capital for just a few months back in August when the White House first announced its task force on crime here in Washington. She was deployed on orders from West Virginia to Washington, D.C., and she had been here ever since. Now, we are told that she was deputized and sworn in yet again just a day before this tragedy happened here. We know that her father told the New York Times that he had been holding her hand in the hospital and that she had suffered a mortal wound. She was surrounded by family and friends who all crowded around her in her hospital room and also in the hallway outside of the hospital. And several, including West Virginia's governor, who addressed the National Guardsmen in D.C. today, described that scene in the hospital as being tragic, but also very busy, that there were lots of people moving in and out of the hospital earlier today.
This is every parent's worst nightmare. A young woman serving her country, standing guard in the nation's capital, and just ambushed days before one of the most iconic holidays in this country. I listen to this and I am genuinely at a loss for words. I am praying for her family and her friends and really the entire country that is mourning her loss. I also wanted to share this moment of what some are considering a moral failure from the New York City Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani, because this was his statement. "I'm devastated to learn of the passing of Specialist Sarah Beckstorm, a member of the West Virginia National Guard. She was only 20 years old. As families across the nation come together today to celebrate Thanksgiving, let us take a moment to think of those in West Virginia who have been plunged into unimaginable grief." Immediately, top accounts respond to him, like Laura Loomer, pointing out that he didn't mention the aspect of Islamic terrorism, suggesting that he shouldn't comment on the matter unless he plans to condemn the act of Islamic terror, which has been confirmed by President Trump, as well as currently being investigated by the FBI. And other officials are calling this a targeted shooting. Other users are also upset with the mayor-elect's choice of words, saying that she didn't have cancer. She was murdered by a Muslim from Afghanistan just for existing. The hypocrisy is also made a bit more clear here with Drew Pavlo, as he provides some receipts that show Zohran previously using the term killed when discussing traffic violence in New York. Look at this. Traffic violence has killed 217 New Yorkers this year. This epidemic is a direct result of our leaders failing to treat this as the crisis it is. So as you can see, Zohran has no trouble telling you how it is when it's about traffic violence. But in his original post, vernacular like that is nowhere to be found, which is also why there is this proposed community note on this message. Look at this. She was murdered by an Afghan Muslim, as reported by The Guardian right here. Look at that. I also wanted to share an update on the other National Guard member who was also shot. He's still in critical condition, fighting for his life in the hospital. Take a look at this.
Because now focus shifts, because we really are hoping he could pull through.
Have you heard anything more from his family about how he's doing? We understand he is still fighting for his life in the hospital in D.C.
Yeah, I'll leave it to the medical folks for the up-to-date conditions, but he's in very serious condition. And I know that from talking with the family, and they asked me to convey this, that their only ask is to send prayers to Andrew and to have everyone across the state and the country say, let's lift him up. I will say that if you look at the spirit of the people that were outside the hospital room, all the people that came to show support for what happened, it was just unbelievable. And people know that this is something that was so heinous that, and they're angry, but they're also weighing in so much on behalf of Andrew and the family, and that is heartwarming.
So there you have it. The only thing they're asking for is prayers to lift up Andrew. So if you are a person of faith, the family would greatly appreciate that. I am hoping and praying for the best possible outcome here. More breaking news is that President Trump just shared something fairly earth-shattering and also a long time coming. Look at this. He writes, any document signed by sleepy Joe Biden with the autopen, which was approximately 92% of them, is hereby terminated and of no further force or effect. The autopen is not allowed to be used if approval is not specifically given by the President of the United States. The radical left lunatic circling Biden around the beautiful Resolute desk in the Oval Office took the presidency away from him. I am hereby canceling all executive orders and anything else that was not directly signed by crooked Joe Biden, because the people who operated the autopen did so illegally. Joe Biden was not involved in the autopen process, and if he says he was, he will be brought up on charges of perjury. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Holy smokes. This obviously has heavy implications, from his proclamations to executive orders and, of course, pardons. So this could be a very, very big deal. One popular name that is going around the table as President Trump makes that announcement is shared by Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene. She writes on her official page saying, if autopen pardons are repealed, then prosecute Fauci for crimes against humanity. So tell me how you feel about that in the comment section, as well as the president's new order of business and Zohran once again ballet dancing around the truth. And hey, if you made it this far, please like, subscribe, turn on the bell, and I'll see you all next time.
Episode's over already? Geez, that was fast. Well, they say beautiful things do not last forever, but feel free to watch and listen to another one of these episodes if you're interested in those conversations as well. Also, this next part is huge. Make sure to obliterate that like and subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never skip a beat. I also have a newsletter where we dive into the news, politics, and ideas that shape our future. If you're interested in signing up, I'd really appreciate that. Anyways, that's the end of this episode. Thank you so much for watching and listening, and I'll see you next time.